I'm Jeff Altman, the Big Game Hunter. I'm the head coach for JobSearchCoachingHQ.com. And a question I received from someone I thought would be helpful for me to answer. And I encapsulated it in the title of this video. Let me read the full question. Is it a good/normal thing to go through a job application process without knowing the salary, eventually to receive a salary offer which is low and cannot be accepted or modified? How do you handle this? Well, I'll simply say, I don't want to say that it's common or normal, but it happens, and it will happen more frequently, and I'll explain why in a second. Firms tend not to want to divulge the salary level for position because what they've learned is if they say 100 to 120 and you're making 95, they're reluctant to give you the 120 because they've got people internally. I can give you all their excuses. They've got formulas really to go by. They'll talk with you about we have people internally who are stronger than you, and they're making 115, and we give you 120. Bull. What it really comes down to is they have formulas that they've calculated for percentage increases. Thus, the tendency is not to divulge because they know you're going to lock in on the top number. They know you're never going to think in terms of the lowest number in the range or any of the numbers between the two. You hear 100 to 120, that's all you care about is the 120, right? And that's natural. Now, is it common for them to make low offers? No, because it's more common for them to try to get you to either push you out the door or get you to say yes, you would accept what they're thinking of much earlier in the process. And if you think back, they've probably given you signals along the way that they're not going to meet what your salary requirements are. Maybe you misled them and said, oh, yeah, I'd be flexible, never thinking in a million years that you would need to be flexible, but now they're calling your bluff. So that's part number one. So yes, it happens. And in a world where firms are reluctant to discuss salary until the very end, it happens with some regularity. The reason I say it's going to happen with more frequency is that organizations are going to start complying and have been forced to comply with jurisdictions where it is now illegal to ask about your current salary. So, just imagine they cannot ask you what you're currently earning and use their formulas. Yippee, I can, ask for as much as I want. Well, yeah, within reason, because, again, using that previous example, a $95,000 a year person is not qualified to do a $180,000 a year person's job, right? It's just different roles. No criticism, it's just different. So it's always got to be within a spectrum. And, here's where the problem is. The problem is firms don't know what you're earning. You could be making more than what they're prepared to pay, right? So if they can't find out that you're making 130 and they're only prepared to pay 120, at the time of the offer, like I said, good news, we're giving you the most that we can pay, 120, and you turn around and go, that's less than what I'm making now. And that's going to be a common occurrence. Now, it doesn't make anything bad. The intention of the law is that there are certain people who are disadvantaged because the system has always paid them less. And it's designed to compensate for it. But this is the price that we're going to pay, is that more and more people are going to get low offers, and they're going to scratch their heads and go, why? And that's because firms don't know what you're currently earning, and their jobs pay less. And they're going to be reluctant to say our position only pays 120. You're going to need to have to ask the question, hey, look, I know you can't ask me what I'm currently earning. And if I'm making more than this job, there's no reason for me to come back 5 times for you to make a low offer. Could you give me a sense of what you're prepared to pay? And then from there, be able to manage them just like they manage job hunters for a lot of years. So back to the original question. How do you handle this? How do you handle this situation? Well, you can do it with some humor. I am confused. You may start off by saying, I'm doing a caricature voice. I am confused by this offer. Did I not tell you during the course of my interviewing with you that I was looking for a salary in the area of whatever the number is? And you have extended an offer for significantly less than that. Yeah. Was there something confusing in the statement? No. Then why have you been doing this? Why have you dragged my butt over here 5 times, 3 times, whatever it is, to make me go through this as though magically I can accept less money? If I went to a store that sold your product and service and you're selling it for $100,000 and I offer you 90, what do you tell me to do? You've got to throw it back at them. I've been very clear about what I'm looking for. And the reason you do this, I'm going to interrupt myself here, is that there are some firms who like to give the impression that there's no wiggle room when there actually is. I don't know if it is in this case. I know you said there's no wiggle room, but until you say no, there may not be wiggle room. It's only when you say no that it may show up. I remember a client of mine in the consulting industry, global firm, billions in revenue, and their premise was they would extend offers that they thought would be turned down. Sometimes they got an acceptance, and sometimes what they were able to do and go, look, I went to bat for you, and I got the offer increased by whatever the number is. And the hiring manager really thinks you're terrific. And I went to bat with you with corporate and was able to get the offer upped. So I need your acceptance now. And that became a game that they played. Only until you said no were they willing to pull this rabbit out of the hat. So is it common? It happens. Not all the time, it happens. Will it happen more often? You betcha it will, for reasons I explained. And here, how do you handle it? You turn the offer down. You don't reward such behavior by sacrificing your talents at the altar of the almighty corporation. There is another corporation that will hire you at the right money, unless your numbers are so completely out of whack as to be ridiculous. Like that one example I gave you before, the $90,000 a year person who is not qualified to do a $180,000 a year job. That's just ridiculous. So I hope you found this helpful. If you have a question for me, reach out to me through LinkedIn at linkedin.com/IN/the Big Game Hunter. Connect with me, then send me your question. I'll answer as many as I can. And in addition, if you're interested in my coaching you, visit my website, thebiggamehunter.us. There's information there about the services I provide, how to make payments, stuff along those lines. Hope you have a great day. Take care.